As an artist here in Canada, when I'm looking for an avenue to escape the Austin and Boston city life, the Leighton Art Centre on the 80 acres properties offer an amazing and spectacular view of the Alberta mountains, where I can soak in all the inspiration that nature has to offer. It's a place to hike, to hang out, to explore the nature and to enjoy the breathtaking and the view, all these mountains that we're surrounded with. This is an amazing view. Another amazing thing you get to enjoy when you come to the Leighton Art Centre is the opportunity to walk hand in hand with nature.
Yes.
So where are we going now?
Yes, so I'm going to take you down to the Education Centre. So a big part of the Leighton, our mandate is that we're all about landscape art and history. So this is a landscape portion. We were lucky to have 80 acres of Foothills landscape. And we have a ton of trails that go throughout the 80 acres. And we also have a birding program here where we're a nesting site for mountain bluebirds and tree swallows.
That is amazing.
Yes, so if you go down all these trails, not only are we going to get to the Education Centre, but you'll also see bird boxes where those nesting sites are.
Yeah, so let's go.
Yes.
This is Muth's.
Yes, so this is our bone table. So it's part of
bone table.
Yeah. So it's part of our art and nature program, schools programs, and summer camp. As the kids get to, as part of their tours, they come here and they get to learn about all the different animal bones that are found in the area.
And this is so heavy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you have two of this on one animal?
Yes.
Wow.
And I was saying that that's quite small.
Wow.
To what you can actually find out there. So this table's always morphing and changing. People are bringing new things all the time. Yes. So this part is actually closed to the public, but it's open to people who are taking adult and family workshops, and then the art and nature school programs and our summer camps.
All right. So where are we now?
So this is the one-room schoolhouse at the Leighton Centre. It's called the Ballyhamage School. And it's over 100 years old.
Wow.
And it was the original schoolhouse that serviced this area. In 1970s, Barbara actually sold a little piece of her land so that she could purchase this schoolhouse and move it onto her property and turn it into an art studio. So it's been an art studio since that time.
So for the art school groups program, this is where it all happens?
Yes, so this is one of the main studios. We have two other studios. We have a pottery studio and a weaving studio as well. We also do adult art workshops in these buildings. And yeah, so the kids come out, they get to experience time in a one-room schoolhouse, and they learn about the local history, and they do crafts, and then they go on tours of the property. And
they get to experience the amazing stove.
Yes, yes. So the building itself is like the house, a piece of
history,
craft, basically, yeah.
And this is well over 100 years ago.
Yes, yes. And so Barbara built it. When they moved it, it looked a little different, but I believe they preserved the windows and they preserved the stove, but the rest of it they made to have a craft sort of feel.
Looking so amazing.
So if you look around, there's a lot of work that's been left here by teachers over the years, or kids over the years, or summer camp participants. So people who've come here have always left a little piece of themselves. So this place has just kind of been growing and growing as a piece of art in itself.
So on the average, how long does it take for the summer camps or the school programs?
Yeah, so summer camps are a week long. The kids come every day, so they don't sleep on the property, and they're here from 9:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon. The school programs during the day are a little shorter, but as I said earlier, that we have been, changing our programs so that we can take kids even during the time of COVID. We're still playing with how long those are going to be, but they'll be day-long programs. Part of our job here is to make sure that this building is still running and functioning, and that we still get to have kids come through and learn about Barbara and AC Leighton and experience nature and craft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, so the rest of the buildings came after the fact. So this, like I said, is 100 years old. These were built in the 70s.
Okay.
And we have a weaving studio and a pottery studio. So they're not exactly like the one-room schoolhouse, but they each have their own history, because there's a lot of important artists in Alberta who, got their start here or started teaching workshops here. And so we're really proud of our work to be able to keep these buildings functioning and still having a lot of people come through and learn new things.
So here we're at the weaving studio at the Leighton Art Centre, the education section of the property. And I have here with me.
My name's Bailey and I'm the Director of Education here.
So what do you do at the weaving centre?
So the Weaving Studio is one of our 3 historic studios. They used to have big floor looms in it. We now use it to run school programs and community group programs.
Thank you very much. So here we are at the pottery studio at the Leighton Art Centre.
Yes, so this is one of the 3 studios where we do adult workshops and kids programs and our art and nature school programs. It's a smaller studio. Originally, it was where a lot of pottery happened, but as Bailey was saying, we've switched over the studios now to focus on school groups. So, and it's actually backs right onto this forest, and a lot of kids who come to the Leighton Centre, especially for summer camp, get to spend their summers playing in this forest.
And they can go hiking
Yeah.
and walk around and explore the nature.
Yeah, they have so much fun. It's really nice to see kids out of outside, off the computers, and running around in nature.
Still on My City Speaks to Me, the Calgary edition. I'm here with my amazing friend Amanda, who is the communications director here at Leighton Art Centre. How are you, Amanda?
Hi, I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for coming out to see us.
This is an amazing space.
Isn't it? It's special out here.
How has the experience been since you started working here?
Well, I've been here for about 2.5 years, and I have to admit I had never been here before I came for my job interview.
Okay.
But my children had been here on field trips.
All right.
And it's a really special place. I think anybody who comes here and spends time here, and anybody who works here, really it kind of gets under your skin, and you start to feel more for it than just about a job, you know?
Wow.
Yeah,
It's like,
a
you know,
special place.
being part of the experience, amazing experience, part of history.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, there's a lot of Alberta history represented here on this property, in this building, and the artifacts that we have in this building. And then, more than just the history, it's sort of the current. There's so much here that's about community and about bringing people together.
So, you have a lot of programs from art groups, community groups, art and nature, and then you have a lot of up to 10,000 students, according to Stephanie, coming through this space every year. But in March, the pandemic struck. So how have you been adjusting to the challenges of our time?
Well, just like anybody anywhere, things have changed, and we do look forward to those days coming back. But in the meantime, we've got a little transition time, like everybody else. So we were closed. We were closed for about 4 months when the big lockdown first happened. And for us, the most important thing that we lost in the spring was the field trips program. So we run field trips through the whole school year, but because of our seasons out here, and we have a lot of snow and it gets very wintry, the spring and the fall are really our kind of peak times. So we did really miss having our students out here during the spring, and we were starting to be worried that even summer camp wouldn't be possible. But it turned out that summer camp could go ahead. It went ahead with very reduced numbers.
Okay.
But we have a very faithful following of families who love it out here, and their kids love it out here. So we were able to run 8 weeks of summer camp.
That's amazing.
With reduced capacity, and it went very smoothly. Didn't have any problems, and apparently the kids had just the best time.
Yeah.
So now we're going into the fall. We just finished summer camp up. I think you may have seen down they were at the Ed Centre. They were cleaning up from summer camp, and normally we would be gearing up for the field trips starting again.
That's amazing.
In this area, field trips are not currently on the plate, on the ticket. So so there's some more adapting to come. I am not privy to all of it yet, but I do know that our education director has been hard at work planning more programs that can be done for families whose kids are doing the remote schooling, or homeschooling groups, and then for small organized community groups. And she's been working hard on these plans to have some programs that can run safely until such time as our school boards decide that it's okay to start going back out on field trips.
That is cool. Now, what are some of the line of activities you have in plan? As the community is reopening again, as we're getting, towards the end, because I know that we're going to beat this COVID, we're going to overcome these challenges, and then as we emerging and we're coming out of the COVID, what are the new things you have in stock for, the members and the community?
Yeah, well, we were able to run an exhibition this summer. It wasn't what we had planned. We did run a member exhibition instead of the one that we had planned, and it got put off till next summer. We have high hopes that next summer is going to be, relatively back to normal. So in the fall, we're going to have some extra stuff planned, especially for outdoors, for families and families with kids who are maybe not going out to school. So we're going to have some extra outdoor programming put on. But we're also getting back to exhibitions. We're not going to be able to hold exactly the same receptions for a little while that we normally do, but we have a juried exhibition all about plein air painting that is coming up, starting here in a couple of weeks. And we miss being able to hold these receptions, but we have so much beautiful space here that we are able to do other things to celebrate our artists. So we have something like 90 pieces that are going to go up in the house soon. People will be able to come in smaller groups to have a look at them. Okay. And we're holding some events that are outdoor based, so they're all about plein air painting. This year we're an official Alberta Culture Days celebration site.
That is cool.
Yeah, so we have some funding to offer even some introductory plein air art making classes free of charge.
That is amazing.
Which is lovely, and we still get to compensate our artists and our instructors for their time, but there are people who get to take advantage and come out and try things out for the first time without a big commitment.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so cross your fingers for the weather on that.
I have one more question for you. Each time you wake up in the morning, you're going to walk. What motivates you that I'm going back to this place? What are your motivating factors?
Yeah, well, part of it is that view up there.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. We sometimes forget to get out of our desks and go look at that view, but we try pretty hard to keep that in mind. It's just an idea of helping to continue something that has been here for so long, and it has been so special to so many people. People from, artists and historians to kids who just love to come here on field trips and for summer camps. And there's a beautiful member base here. It's over 300 strong. And I've only been here 2.5 years, so I'm the newbie. I haven't been here that long. There are people who've been coming here for 30 plus years, and they know the place better than I do. But every time they come out, they're like, oh, you're so lucky you get to come here all the time. So yeah, it's just the idea of continuing something that I think is unique.
That's amazing. And I hope some of our viewers will, take a trip down this place to come learn about the spectacular, history, rich cultural history of Alberta. Looking at the posters, from 1920s, made by A.C. Leighton, and the, toys and the craft and the paintings and the mountains, and it's so amazing. This is a lovely place, to come, to relax, to unwind, to reset, and to, discover something new and unique.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I hope people who haven't been here before will take the opportunity to come down. And we usually find that once people find us, once, then they love to come back.
They want to come back, yeah. It's like come once and then you want to keep coming back again and again.
You're going to be hooked.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So, you've been working here for the past 9 years. What makes this place different from other art centers?
Well, I think what differentiates the Leighton Art Centre from a lot of other art galleries or museums is the fact, first of all, that we get to be both of those things. I think one of the biggest things is our location, is we're so lucky to have these 80 acres.
Wow.
And then on top of that, our history is very unique, and the fact that we get to be a place where we share the history of Alberta art's history to everybody. Yeah, and then another major aspect is the fact that we combine emerging artists, or opportunities for emerging artists, and mid-career artists and established artists. So it really doesn't matter where you are in the trajectory of your arts career, whether you're just starting out or you're very well established and you want to have a commissioned performance here. We provide opportunities for all different types of artists.
That is amazing, creating that safe space, for artists to come, and non-artists alike. Everybody is welcome here to come explore, learn, and experience the best of art and nature. Yeah,
exactly. And we see a lot of established artists really kind of take the emerging artists under their wings. So everybody is really happy to be together in this place, and everybody's inspired by this landscape and the history. So
that is amazing. Providing opportunity for mentorship.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So our motto is we grow artists.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of really great examples of artists who have grown here.
Thank you very much for showing us around this amazing space.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. We're so happy to have you.
So today at the Leighton Art Centre, we're celebrating Alberta Culture Days. We're celebrating it by getting a community of artists out to join us for a plein air paint-out and a wet paint competition and sale later this afternoon. So we're really excited. We've got dozens of artists who've come out to paint our landscape today. And later on today, we're going to have some judges. We have Doug Swinton from Swinton's Art Supplies and local painters Louise Lacey Rokosh and Sue Contini, who are going to come and judge the entries in the wet paint competition.
Okay, how often do you do this kind of competition?
We haven't done this before. We've had plein air paint-outs in the past. We tend to hold them later in September, and we've always had really bad weather. So this year we're thrilled that we held it a little bit earlier, and we're really excited to add the wet paint competition to the day.
How many artists do you have here today painting outside?
I think we have at least 50 artists painting on plein air on the site today.
That's amazing turnout.
It is an amazing turnout. We're very excited, and we're really excited to see the artworks later in the day.
So how do you determine what an artist paints? They can just choose what they like to paint today.
Absolutely. So for this year, with it being the inaugural competition, we asked that they just paint on our property, but that still leaves a lot of variety. We have 80 acres, we have heritage buildings, we have the mountains, the foothills, trees, flowers, plants, so people are going to come up with all kinds of different things to paint. It's not just going to be that classic view.
So what other things is going on apart from the painting outside? You mentioned something happening in the building.
Yeah, so today is the launch of our new exhibition, and it's a juried plein air exhibition. We have 40 artists represented, and we have 110 pieces in our main gallery. So we're really excited. We extended our hours for today so that people could come out and visit the house in a socially spaced manner, and we're really excited for everyone to come see this beautiful new exhibition. It's called In the Open Air, and this is the second year we've done it, but the first year we've done it as a juried exhibition.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Teresa Williams.
So what do you do?
I paint as much as I possibly can.
So how long have you been coming to Leighton Art Centre?
I've been coming to Leighton Art Centre for about 4 or 5 years now. It's a wonderful place.
So what drew your attention to this place?
It was the views and the art, of course. I've been painting seriously now for about 3 years, so fairly recent.
So what are you doing here today?
I am here today to paint. I have work inside in the show that opens today, and I wanted to paint.
And your work is amazing.
Thank you.
I don't live very far from here, and I've been probably involved with the Leighton Art Centre for 10 years or more.
That is amazing.
So I've always participated in their Christmas shows. I've sometimes participated in their clothesline sales. I've had artwork on display in the shop. I've volunteered for them quite often, so I'm here quite often.
Lovely. You're painting watercolors today.
I always paint watercolors. I don't do other forms of paint. Well, mixed media sometimes, but mostly watercolors.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Leah Kathleen Donald. I own a company called Art Felt Studio, and what we do is we teach felting in schools. So we want kids to experience fiber arts, and it's something that they will always be successful at when they attempt what we're doing. So we do needle and wet felting. I came to that, I was an instructor here at Leighton Centre for 12 years, and when I discovered felting, I discovered my medium as an artist. So I actually left Leighton Centre to start Art Felt Studio, and Art Felt's been going in Calgary about 10 years. A few years ago I joined Leighton Centre as an artist, so I'm an artist member here, and I put pieces in their spring and Christmas show and their juried member show. Right now they have a plein air show, and they were expecting, I think, paintings, because most people do the plein air work and they do the paintings. For me, that's not my medium. So instead I looked at another skill I have, and it's working with recycled, upcycled fabrics to create carpets or wall hangings.
What was your first experience when you come into this space?
Leighton Centre. I came here as a mom on a field trip, and my kids came out, and I was the one following and watching what was going on, and I fell head over heels for this place. Who doesn't? It's magical here.
Luella Gilchrist is my name. I'm from Calgary, and I'm here today plein air because Doug Swinton from Swinton's Art Supplies has invited everybody with the Leighton Centre to do a plein air competition.
So how long have you been painting?
I've been painting for quite a while, for about 20 years. Before that I didn't use color, it was just sketching, and I'm really much more interested in color. And before, when I couldn't paint very much in the past because I was working. Like most artists in Calgary, you have to have a job as well as do your art. Even though a lot of artists here are absolutely world class, like Aaron Sidorenko belongs in the National Portrait Gallery with his Veterans exhibition. And I mean, there's artists here that could be in the National Gallery. They're so good. For some reason, out here we struggle. We struggle to become known or to be accepted in the art world. So,
What's some of the challenges you faced, being an artist so far?
for me, because I'm older, it's hard for me to do plein air and carry all my stuff around. I'd like to do more in the mountains. It's very hard hauling all your stuff up. I've done it. It's really hard. But other than that, you just do what you do.
So
Yeah.
you say you've been painting for over 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it's a lifelong career, which...
Well, it's not even a career. I hardly ever sell anything. It's just something like most artists. You have to. You understand this yourself. You do it or you shrivel up and die. That's how most artists feel. And that's what I'm like too. So if nobody buys it, well, you just keep on painting.
So what's the name?
My name is Svetlana.
Svetlana. So why are you here today?
Because I love painting, and painting outside even more than just painting, because you can do it only so many months a year.
How long have you been painting?
So I've been painting all my life, but in oil I've been painting probably 14 years or so,
So
on and off, but more consistently recently.
why are you here today?
Just because there was this wet paint competition, so I decided I'll give it a go.
So what are your thoughts about artists, working in Calgary and Alberta? How can we support artists more?
I think it should be, how to say, more promoted by, I guess, local authorities potentially, right? And in general, because when you travel to Europe or other countries, you see that there are lots of organizations and all other things for art and artists. And in Calgary, I don't feel it that much. It looks like I can't say there is no art in Calgary, but you just really have to search for it. Where, like in Europe and other places, or like in Russia where I come from, it's a little bit different. Like art is like part of your life.
So what's your name, sir?
My name is Rick June.
So you're here for the open air featured artist, you're one of them?
I am. I was fortunate to have one of my pictures juried into the show, and when I discovered they were going to be doing plein air through the day, and the wet paint contest, I thought, I got to come up for this because it's just so beautiful here.
So Rick, how long have you been painting?
4 or 5 years.
That's amazing. Before then, what were you doing?
Oh, geez, I had about 3 careers. Came out of university and then went into working in big organizations to help them with their evaluation of their services. And I did that a lot of my career, and then went and did a lot of consulting to small businesses doing the same thing, and then retired about 5 years ago.
So art has been part of your life.
I would say so. I grew up in a family where there was art and music, and got a chance to try some art when I was a youngster. But in our family, it wasn't part of the values about having a career in art. It was nice, but get a real job.
So what would you say to artists who are doing this on full time? How can we encourage artists, to take this as a real lifelong, job?
I would say that there are a lot of myths about poor artists, and you don't need to be a poor artist. You can be a comfortable or even a wealthy artist if you want. Don't get trapped by what many experience as their family values. It's really up to you.
What's your name?
Piroshka.
Piroshka.
Yes.
So how long have you been painting, Piroshka?
I've been painting for about 20-25 years.
That's a long time. So why are you here today?
I'm just here for the outdoors. Just to enjoy with you always get inspired with the other, lots of people, lots of artists doing the same thing. So you get a lot of inspiration. It's a beautiful day. And I might even enter the competition. We'll see.
Cool.
My name's Graham Steckley.
How long have you been an artist?
Yesterday. No. I on and off all my life. I kind of played with art, loved art as a kid, took some lessons as a kid, but I'm getting close to retirement, and it's something I've wanted to take up again. And I've been to the Leighton Art Centre many times. I admire the view here. It's fantastic. And so, I heard about this experience, being able to come and just paint outdoors. I think it's called Plein Air Painting, I guess is what the name for it is. But so I'm trying it. It's scary, but fun.
So I did probably 4 years or 3 years of summer camps out here just after we moved out to Chestermere. So Miss Leighton sat with me in one of these tiny little cabins doing we wove the little the purses.
Oh, the purses.
Yeah.
We have some of those on display. Do you still have yours by chance?
I did, and then we had a house fire in 2004, and we lost everything. Absolutely everything just went up in flames. And but I can tell you the colors. I can tell you how hard it was, and she was very tough on me.
She was like that.
Yeah, like she had time for every single kid, and was absolutely like, this is how it's done. And I don't know where those cabins are, but it was cold.
Oh, yeah, we can show you.
Yeah, like you look like you're entering an outhouse. I was like, what is this, right? And then you sat in that little bench, and you sat and you wove, and then you got to come out and have lunch, and then we would go off and we did some painting, and we were carving stuff with knives, and it was just such great memories.
Thank you for hanging out with me today on My City Speaks to Me, the Calgary edition from Leighton Art Centre. As always, I invite you to like and share this video and leave a comment or two to let me know that you dropped by. Until I come again your way the next time with exciting episode on My City Speaks to Me from around Canada. I'm your host, Lanre Ajayi, and like I do it on this show, don't move a muscle, stretch. See you around.